Yo, welcome back everyone to another Precure stream. Welcome. How we doing? Guys? How do we feel about the purry jet heart pose? I have seen that so many times, so much artwork. Everybody has been retweeting and reposting and resharing the purry jet heart pose. So how do we feel? How do we feel about a new Star Detective Precure meme? How do we feel? Welcome in everyone. Welcome in. Let me do my little chatting. Also hi. I'm gonna be silly today. You know why? Because I feel like it. Because I have so much rage inside of me. So I feel like, it would be nice to be a little bit of a silly goober today because, gotta quell that girly rage, just girly things. Rage. Unadulterated rage. So, hi, welcome in. Thank you, Sky, for the first welcome in on Twitch. Hello on YouTube, welcome in. Oh my goodness, hello everyone before stream started. Hello, hi FNAF Precure, welcome in. Ooh. I'll get to that in a second. Hi, Kurox. Hi, Scott on YouTube. Hi, Abyss Heron. Welcome in. Exactly! This art spawned so much Jet Senpai fan art of him doing the heart pose. It's crazy. It is! I see it everywhere. Like, I can't not find it everywhere I scroll. Like, my entire, Instagram. I woke up today, and I was like, let me check Instagram. I'll get this in a second. But I couldn't yesterday, so I was like, let me check Instagram now that I can load everything in. Girl. It's just Jet purry heart maxing. It's so cute though, it's so cute. We'll get to that, but there's a part in today's episode where Jet is casting some lovey-dovey magic, so love that. Just get out of the shower realizing that this is happening now. Perfect timing? Honestly, yes, perfect timing. Has anyone seen the new Digital Circus episode? It's crazy and shocking, but I'm excited to see the next one on June 19th. I wonder if Kira Claire's debut will be leaked or released. Ooh, two things. Yes, I want to talk about that. Fun fact, I actually just started the Amazing Digital Circus. I was going to call it My Amazing. I don't know why. Anyway, I just started it, actually. I finished episode 2 recently. I'm one of those people who, I'm going to be so for real, I really don't like to hop on the bandwagons for things when they're, super popular. But, I saw that, we're almost at the end. There's, one more episode. So, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time that I get into it, because I do see a lot of people talk about Jax and Jax art, and from what I see, I like him. So I'm curious to watch the show and see if I like him or not, because I like characters like what he is. Someone who's a little bit insane, but it's got some trauma, I'm gonna say a morally gray, low-key, kind of evil, chaotic evil maybe character. I don't know. I'll have to see this show to really assess him. But what I see from people making art is that low-key, bro's a little bonkers. I love that. Love that in a character. So I actually just started the Amazing Digital Circus. I just started it and I've watched up to episode 2 and I like it so far. So I'm excited to binge some content until the last one comes out, because honestly, I'm gonna be so for real, I don't think I could be one of those people who just waits, I don't want to just wait, so I'm starting it at the end so I don't have to wait. But yes, I'm collecting the drips from my hair in a bowl for some reason. You know what, it'd be like that, sometimes it just be like that, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Oh yeah, also I'll talk about this once we do the recap, but yes, possibly something soon, maybe about, Kira Claire coming into play, possibly, I don't know, that's just a theory, a Precure theory, and cut. But yes, would you like to hear about the rage that ensued me yesterday? Because, if you're wondering, hey, Tuesday, Imp doesn't stream on Tuesday over here. What are we doing here? Why is it over here? So, apparently, I don't even fully know what happened, but, in my side of North Carolina, I live in I'm gonna say, the Western North Carolinas. I don't know what was going on, but, just about everyone over here that I reached out to was like, yeah, I don't have any internet. people who I know who live 2 hours away were like, oh, you don't have internet either? I don't have internet. So I'm like, what's going on? So like basically from like 8 a.m. in the morning to like 9:30 at night, I did not have internet. So I wasn't able to stream, but I also wasn't able to do my job, because if you don't know, I do a job where I work from home. I do an online work job, and I wasn't able to do anything yesterday. So I could not stream, I could not really even get online. Like, I was able to post a few messages and be like, yo, I'll be on mobile data a little bit, but like, no stream until I can get this up and running. So I genuinely don't know what was going on yesterday, but it just seems like my side of the Western North Carolina's had a really bad internet outage. So I don't know what it was about, but we're streaming today over here on the Glitter M channel. Yes. Hi Christy, welcome in. Augustine should have been the villain for this episode. She's literally a Garu. It would have fit so well, so please. You know what? That is so true. That is so true. Today's episode, they're literally in like a Pretty Holic store where they're like legitimately like looking at perfumes and stuff. I feel like that would be up her alley. Honestly, I feel like it's weird that we haven't seen a lot of her like as the villain, you know? Kind of weird. I feel like Eclair needs some love because her kind of shadow seems to get too much. I feel like a big part of that is just because we don't really know anything about Kira Claire. Like, we don't know anything. Like, obviously there's theories, but you really don't know anything about her. I'm excited for Arcana, but I have a feeling I'll only like her as a Cure, not as Luca, because she just eats constantly. She's got an ice cream cone every episode. Like, dang. I still have a feeling they will dumb her character down just to make her favorite food after her arc. Yeah, that is something I worry about. That is something. I feel like that's something that they did with Lulu/Ruru from Hugto. Is like, you know, in Hugto, like when she was the villain, like low key, she was really badass. And then, you know, she got converted to the Precure side and she became a lot more mild, which I don't mind, but it's like, you know, teaching a robot to learn to love, you know, but like I feel like they did take a little bit of that, like, you know, go-getter personality away from her just a tiny bit, but yeah, I feel like I worry about that too a little bit. Hi GF. Welcome. Oh yeah, you have a Pretty Holic episode and you choose Niji over Augustine. Augustine only had 1 episode out of 8 where she works. Exactly. I'm gonna be so for real. Before we do the recap, I'm gonna be so for real. This was not a favorite episode of mine. This is, and not to say it was bad or anything, it's just one of those episodes that I'm like, yeah, this one wasn't that good. This is obviously just kind of like filler-ish, but not one of my favorites, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta have episodes like that. I feel like we came off of like 2 very high episodes where, like, you know, our main characters were like fighting. So like I feel like it's understandable to have like a more silly episode like this, I'll say. However, not one of my personal favorites so far. I saw people saying Augustine could be a choky ring situation. I do not want to hate Augustine like I hated that drowned rat. I feel that. I really hope she isn't. Honestly, I didn't even think about that till just now talking about it. But yeah, no, I feel like this episode would have been perfect for her. Would have been the perfect episode. Like, she's Gyaru. I feel like anything that's makeup related or like clothes related. I think I said that, didn't I, in like the last stream, is that I feel like this would be a good episode for her because she's Gyaru. So like, I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Niji. However, I do feel like he has got a lot of spotlight, and the Goemon guy, I'm gonna get his name right finally, Goemon, I feel like he's got a lot of spotlight too, but in a silly way. He just kind of like annoys me in a way because he's just always like so happy, like ha ha ha, everything's fine, but he doesn't get reprimanded. by the maestro the way Niji does. Niji's actually out here trying. He's hard time like fighting, trying to secure these jewels, and he is just getting constantly shit on by the maestro. And yet Goraemon basically is just like, ha ha ha, oh well, I guess you got me, bye. And like, he never gets like reprimanded, so like, why is it just Niji? Like, it is making me feel for Niji a little bit, because I'm like, you know, this dude's actually trying. Like, he's trying really hard, and I don't understand why he's the only one getting reprimanded so hard. I'll say that. But like, the Goraemon guy is kind of getting on my nerves, I will say that. I wish we would see genuinely some more Agisin, or actually see Lula could do something. Like, love you, Pookie, but like, you need to do something. Like, come on, like, quit eating the ice cream cone, get up, do something, queen. But yeah, let me see. Oh, let me I've missed some chat. Let me go back real quick. Is it just me, or am I really tired of Precure nowadays? Just waiting for like months till the other Cures debut. It feels like it's ruining the fun for mid-seasons, honestly. I feel that, I feel that. I'm gonna be so for real. I do feel like that a little bit, and that is kind of a little reason why, like, I would say like maybe a year or two ago, I took a Precure break from like making content. Like, I didn't touch content for Precure for a while, because I felt like I got a little bit bored of it, because not to say that bored in the sense of I hate it, but basically, like, how do I explain this? Like, I wouldn't say that I was bored in the sense of like, oh, I don't like Precure anymore, but bored in the sense of it's the same things happening a lot story-wise. The same thing is just constantly happen. It's the same story. It's the same, you know, character arcs. Like, I want to see something a little different sometimes, you know? So like, that's kind of where I was at for a little bit when it came to Precure, and that's why I took a break. And I will say, it doesn't feel like Precure has fully changed with that. I feel like they've had some good moments in the last couple years. Like, Hero Sky was like the last season that I was like, oh my god, this is phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. So it's an opinion thing, I guess, but like, yeah. Honestly, we need to bring back Heartcatch. I'm such a Heartcatch shrimp. I don't know if I can say that word on here because I can't say it on Twitch, but maybe on YouTube. Oh yeah, the comments are from YouTube. It's on YouTube too. I dual stream, so yeah. But yes. I miss when they actually did Precure episodes, like the Cures, of the Cures, like around March all the time, so that they would be together, and we could wait till summer for the mid-season. Yeah, you know what, yeah, I remember that too. The Fresh to Go Princess era was the best. You know what, I'm about to go start watching Go Princess, like like recently one of my like friends was talking about Go Princess, because I was like, I really need a season that does it for me, because, you know, it's been a while since I've had a Precure season that's really, like, you know, gripped me and was like, you know, enthralled me into it. And one of my friends was like, you need to go watch Go Princess, like, it was the best. Like, Cure Flora is like one of my favorites, and she's one of the best. So I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll take a gander at it. Maybe we'll do a member stream, where we like, you know, pop in and watch some of Go Princess Precure, because if you don't know, I'm writing a book that's princess / witchy, so like, I feel like watching some Go Princess and some Maho Girls might benefit me a little bit. Or maybe until Healing Good. I'm gonna be so for real, I did not watch Healing Good just because, I've said this before, but I didn't watch Healing Good because, I mean, you're literally watching a season about diseases and viruses during COVID. I was like, I cannot do that. I don't know if they predicted it. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but I was like, I cannot do that. Looking on the bright side, she'll at least face Usanore's BS last. Honestly, I don't know what Usanore Maestro's thing is. Like, he's so hard on Niji. I don't get it whatsoever. Like, damn. I like Wonderful the most in recent years. I personally don't care about the Cures, which feels weird because I'm a huge Precure fan, but when it comes to them, I just don't care much. I'm more of a villain fan. I got you. Have you watched Soaring Sky? I've watched a little bit. I'll say that. I watched a little bit of Soaring Sky, like maybe 10 episodes before I put a pause on Precure, and I kind of just stayed up to date. Just kind of when big things would happen, you know, like for example, when Cures would debut, I would watch, you know, the episode of their debut, or like if something big did happen, like that one episode where it was like Dark Cure Sky, because like I need you to know that like Smile Precure re-rendered my brain because I love the Dark Cure scene. Like I wish they would do something like that more. I loved stuff like that, like fighting their like bad selves. Like I love that. Heartcatch also had some stuff like that. Like I just love when the Cures have to like face themselves, like a bad part of themselves, or it's like a metaphor of like I'm facing my insecurities, like Cure Blossom fighting herself. Like that's the Precure I love. That's the Precure I love. I was just kind of tired of when they always bring the same pattern. Here goes Sky, always a dual first, late mid-season Sun, and the Cure's not having a debut till months later. Like, can they stop repeating? Yeah, I feel like Precure's gotten into a pretty bad habit of like repeating the same tropes over and over. Feel the same duos need to take a break. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm happy to have a duo for this season. I feel like it works for this season. However, yes, I agree. I think we're having too many duo Cures. Like, Smile works so well, and they were all one big team. Exactly. Smile is just so goated. Smile is goated in every way, shape, and form. And I'm not biased, because it was my technical first ever season of Precure. Didn't know it was, because I watched it as Glitter Force. However, I then watched it as Smile, and I was like, yeah, both banger. Love this cast of characters. Love the storyline. Love the power-ups. Like, the full team power-ups, can I say? Can I say that? I love the full team power-ups and not just one. I'm looking at you, Uta, Cure Idol, getting a power-up. Like, I miss when the full team got treated like a team, you know? I hate when, like, the leader is the only one who gets, like, the cool stuff. Like, I can see the leader getting a little bit of an extra, you know, little extra boost or something. However, I wish the whole team was still treated, you know, equally in sense of power-ups and stuff. But anyway, I think we need to go ahead and get into the actual recap. I've been yapping a little bit, but let's go ahead and get into the recap real quick. So, this is episode 8 recap. So basically what happens is we are running a Pretty Holic store. So the characters are like, hey, you know what? We should do something that's kind of fun. Jet's an inventor, and also Poshitan gets a really cute outfit, I should say, that looks like Cure Answer, and it's so cute. But anyway, they're like, Jet, you're an inventor. Why don't, like, you, like, work on making something? And we open a store, and we learn that he can honestly do just about anything. And so both Mikuru and Anna are like, let's make pretty stuff, like let's make perfumes and whatnot. Let's open a Pretty Holic store. So that is the gist of this episode. I'm gonna be a little bit more glossy over some of the stuff, because again, this is kind of like a little filler episode, not super important to the plot, and I'm just gonna gloss over some things. But however, the whole episode is basically about them trying to learn, or trying to make, I should say, some little things like perfumes and lipsticks and stuff. And so we get a little backstory about Jet, where we learn that Jet is an inventor, obviously, but he came from a group of other fairy inventors, and basically he had, I can't remember the name of the grandma. I think I'm gonna call her Meemaw. Fairy Grandma Meemaw was his mentor in the little fairy village. I'm trying to skip to find her name because I can't remember it. But anyway, we see old Meemaw. We see Meemaw. Fairy Meemaw. What is her name, please? Shinian, right? Anyway, Fairy Meemaw is like absolute banger inventor, and she wears these little goggles and stuff, but She wears these little goggles, and she is like the best of the best inventor of these fairies, and she is their mentor. And so anyway, Jet wants to be one of the best. However, his creations just don't live up to the same like inventions that Meemaw I'm calling her Meemaw, just let me have this, Meemaw. Meemaw just is such a good inventor. Jet can't live up to it. And so he asks her, he's like, how do your inventions always come out so good? And she does this little heart pose, and like little rays of hearts shoot out. And she's like, purry purry love. You just gotta sometimes be a little whimsical with it. You gotta put a little cuteness into what you're doing. So eventually Jet takes her advice and ends up graduating and becomes a Kyoto Detective Agency fairy inventor. And we actually see that Meemaw gives him those goggles. So the goggles that he wears, they're from Meemaw Fairy Inventor, yeehaw. And so they're very precious to him. So while they are trying to set up the Pretty Holic store, basically Jet ends up having to take his goggles off because they accidentally spilled something. So they're like, you know, trying to get under a couch, so he's got to take the goggles off. But when he pops back up, the goggles are completely gone. Someone's stolen them. So now we have our suspects. There are 3 people who are not part of the Kyoto Detective Agency in the building right now. We have a florist who has come in and has brought some flowers for the shop. We have a baker who's brought in a cake for the grand opening. And we have the lady from a couple episodes ago in the shop, the one with the turtle, the frustrating turtle sunflower episode that I have beef with. She's back, and she's brought in some wardrobes and stuff for the store. So these 3 characters have to be the suspects. So both Anna and Mikuru start questioning them, doing their detective thing. However, nothing really comes up. They're having a little bit of a hard time because everything that they're doing just sounds so plausible. It sounds like it's all like perfectly in place, nothing out of place. Until Pochi-tan goes, Pochi! Pochi, you know, the fairy, baby fairy now, fairy of literal time and space, who has been converted back into a baby, can only make Pochi sounds like a Pokemon, can only go Pochi! Pochi accidentally speaks in front of these civilians, and so both the baker and the what do I call it? The furniture lady? Both the furniture lady and the baker are like, what is that noise? Did that pouch? Episode 2, thank you. That lady from episode 2. But yeah, basically they're like, did your purse pouch thing just make a noise? And Mikuru was like, oh, haha, no, that was my stomach. And then she starts saying, Pochi, Pochi. I do that when I'm hungry. You know, I'm just so hungry. Pochi, Pochi. And the only person who didn't find it weird was the florist, who's like, oh, haha, must be hungry then. And so that's how they suss out that that's not the actual florist, which I got beef with this. I'll leave that for after the recap. I got beef with this. But anyway, they're like, you know what? I got it. It's the florist. Because everyone else was freaked out by Pochi, and yet the florist was like, yeah, Pochi. Just very cool with it. And so they suss them out, and they're like, it's you're the Phantom Thief. And it's Niji. Niji is the one who they go up against. So obviously, I'm gonna gloss over this. Like I said, they fight him, they beat him, they kick his butt again. Sorry, Niji, love you, Pookie, but like gets his butt kicked again, and then they get the Makoto jewel. And so they then open up the Pretty Holic store. And I'll say the only 2 things about this episode so far that I was like, oh, this is pretty good, because again, it's filler. I'm not a huge filler person. But we do see that at the end, when the store is opened, some of Mikuru's friends from school, and I guess now technically Anna, they come and they greet everyone, and they are like looking at the perfumes and the lipsticks, and then this random lady comes in, she buys something, leaves, very casual, not suspicious. However, upon leaving the store, she de-transforms into Lulaka. Lulaka, again, like I've been saying, seems to be scouting out the cures. So she went in disguised and bought something and was just kind of like scoping out what they're doing. But anyway, she does remark, this is really pretty. Like, she likes the thing that she bought. And pretty interesting, I'll say, that she's still like keeping an eye on the Precure. I don't know if it's I'm keeping an eye on the Precure because, you know, like I'm a bad guy, or because she's genuinely maybe interested in them, you know? But she does look like she is, you know, doing her own sneaky detective work, it seems. And anyway, let's get with the recap, because I think the recap is pretty interesting. Because if you guys have been around, especially in some of the earlier streams, I think we covered this in the first ever Star Detective stream, but there is a character in the opening who has really long blue hair and a ponytail, and she looks like she could be probably a civilian form for Kiera Clare. If you need a little recap, because I know sometimes people will find these videos after they have been streamed and are like, question what? Basically, Star Detective Precure has a mystery. I was gonna say mid-season. Should I say mid-season? I was gonna say mystery cure. We have a mystery cure that we know nothing about, which is Kiera Clare. All we know is that we have their Precure design form. And so in their design form, for being a cure, they have a really high blue ponytail and kind of bluish features. And so there's this girl in the opening who a lot of people have theorized that she has either a connection to Kiera Clare, or she might be Kiera Clare. Hi Bon Bon, welcome in. But it looks like next episode, episode 9, is going to be about the super popular actor Shiriku. I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, I'm sorry. Liri? Shiriku, I'm gonna call her by her name, Shiriku. So basically, we get to see that this girl was an actor, or is an actor, and for some reason, she's coming to the school. She's coming to Anna and Mikuru's school, and they're like literally freaking out. But next episode is called Star Detective Precure. Don't make assumptions. So I wonder what that means. I wonder if that's like hinting at maybe Shiriku has like a different personality or something, because what we've seen, she's very, you know, like sweet looking, very a little bit more mature. I wonder if she actually is like, you know, just putting on a face or something. With it saying don't make assumptions, I'm wondering if that's like talking about her, like maybe people are assuming the actor or the actress's personality. I don't know. We'll have to see in next week's episode, but interesting stuff. So I've seen a lot of people theorizing that since, you know, obviously it looks like it's that girl who's got the same kind of hairstyle as Kiera Clare, maybe we're gonna get some Kiera Clare hints or something, which I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know that I personally would say that I feel like, she is Kiera Clare. I'm gonna be so for real. I wouldn't say that I feel like she's 100% Kiera Clare, but I'm wondering if she definitely has something involved. I feel like she probably has something involved with Kiera Clare. If she's not fully Kiera Clare, then I feel like she's involved as Kiera Clare in a way. Like there was a theory I saw where there was a girl standing beside her that also had like a little bit of a darker blue hair color. A lot of people were saying maybe that's her fairy, and you know, like maybe to become Kiera Clare she has to like have a fairy, something like that. I don't know, it's just a theory. However, I do think she has something to do with Kiera Clare, so I think we're finally starting to go into the direction of maybe, you know, getting a hold of some Kiera Clare knowledge and information. But yeah, exciting next week episode. I feel like that one is a little bit more exciting than Pretty Holic ones for me. I'm being so for real. I'm not a big fan of the Pretty Holic episodes just because I know it is just like merchandise. Let me like put this in the anime so that we can sell it to you. Like, I know it's marketing, I get it, but like, you know, it's like I'm not a big fan of it, you know. Just saying, not a huge fan of like the Pretty Holic episodes, but I understand why you do them. You gotta sell that merchandise, you know, gotta make that money, make purse. But yeah, what'd you guys think about it? What'd you guys think about this one? I know I glossed over it just a little bit, but again, kind of a side little episode. Let's see. I need to see where I was with chat. I'm so happy. Yes, I'm so happy too. I can't wait for more Eclair stuff. Exactly. Why can't Precure look back from the past of things that were successful instead of being like, no, we're doing dual power-ups all together in an equal group rather than unfair screen time? Exactly. Like, it really feels like the leaders are the ones who are getting the most, like, when it comes to, like, power-ups and stuff, which, again, I don't mind if the leader gets a little extra oomph, but I would love for everyone to equally get some, like, you know, power-ups. Like, I can understand if you're the leader, you get like a little extra, like, power-up or whatever. You're the leader, I get it. But I want everyone to at least have a shot, you know, to be, you know, the cool one and get them a little power-up because they deserve it too. Ooh, Kirpochi-tan foreshadowing, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I'm always so suspicious with Precure when it comes to fairies because I feel like they always, you know, have the ability to just make a fairy into a cure. I feel like that's always an ability. That's something I feel like they could always just like one day, oop, here you go. Like last season, obviously, pretty obvious that the fairies were gonna end up becoming cures, but with Pochi, I don't know. That's a thing that we have seen a lot in like different seasons where like the fairies might dress up as like a cure from the group or something. So doesn't 100% mean that that's going to be like a foreshadowing that the fairy is going to be a cure. However, I can't deny, I think I would love to see a Pochi-tan cure form, even if it is just fan art. Because imagine Pochi-tan, but in their full power. Like, how amazing would that be? Like, the fairy of time and space, the Precure of time and space, like, that would be so cool, so banger. Like, that would be amazing. So, like, again, I can live vicariously through fan art, but I feel like that would be really cool. Let me get a little drink of my water real quick before I continue. Sidegram, people are saying that the characters of the season have no development. First, we're not even 10 episodes in, and there's some character development already. Are people really saying that? Really? I mean, after the last 2 episodes? Are you kidding me? That was so much development. Like, exactly, you can't say that stuff when we've barely started. Exactly. Like, we just got into this season. Like, chill. Like, I'm gonna be so for real. I thought we got a lot of development. Like, we saw Anna, who is usually, you know, the happy let's go, go, go character that, like, literally Jet says, like, you know, she's the one who always dives head in, like, what's the word? Head first, straight in. She literally breaks down and gets upset because, you know, she's not in her time period. Like, she finally breaks, you know, she's upset. She sees Mikuru has her friends and, like, she feels like she's not included. And, like, this leads to their little fight because, you know, she's not even supposed to be born. Like, that is so much development. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, that's crazy. Like, so much development between the two in the last couple of episodes. Like, with them, realizing that, you know, you have to work together, but also, you know, you have to understand that, you know, they're going through something. Like, you know, Mikuru just wants to, you know, fulfill her dream, but she also wants to fulfill her dream with Anna. Like, that's her new prerogative. And Anna is like, I'm not even supposed to be born yet. Like, I feel like that's so much character development. That's crazy people are saying that. You know what, this I agree with. The mysteries haven't been as good as the first episode mysteries. I agree with that. I feel like some of them are very hit and miss. You know, I feel like a lot of the mysteries have been hit or miss for me. That turtle sunflower episode, I'm gonna be so for real. I hate that mystery so much. Nothing has enraged me in this series as much as that. Because the thing about Star Detective Precure, I understand. Let me just go ahead and say this. I know it's a kid's show. I know. However, I like it to have a little bit of logic, you know, just like a little bit of logic involved. So that way, like, us as the viewer is like, yeah, I can follow along and try to figure it out myself. And like, I understand if it would be something like, oh, we're introducing magic and there's very obviously magical elements that won't make sense. Like, yes, I can understand having like some silly, goofy moments like that because it's magic. It's not supposed to be logical. But like, if there's no established like magic or anything, like I need you to be a little bit more logical because I want to figure it out too. Like I don't want to be like, huh? How does that make sense? Like, you know, I want to try to figure it out too. That's the fun in episodes like this, but yeah. I agree. I think some of the last couple episodes the mystery has been very good. This one, okay, I said I was gonna save this. I guess I should talk about this one now. Yeah, this one kind of low-key, I was like, really? Because this feels just like episode 2 with the whole like turtle sunflower thing where it's like they're following the exact same pattern, which I'm not loving too much. Also from the first episode too with the bride, where you have 3 people who just happen to be in the space at the time, so they question them and they run through each of the possibilities. And I get it, you know, when you're a detective you have to do stuff like that, you have to constantly like rule out everything, but it's like for a TV show, for a series, it's the same thing 3 times now, maybe more if I'm misremembering, but it's like we've already seen this type of like, you know, ordeal before. And I feel like honestly, I'm gonna be so for real, when Pochi sneezed or said like Pochi, and the other 2 people were like, oh my god, what was that? Is your pouch talking? And the florist just didn't react. I didn't even really catch on that that was a hint that it's Niji or like a phantom thief. Because to me, I'm like, oh, well, everyone else was like, oh, your purse, did that just speak? And then the cures are like, oh, no, it was just my stomach, it was my stomach growling. So then the florist is like, oh, I guess you might be hungry then, you know, better eat something. You know, I just took that as being nice and like, oh, everyone else already said what I was thinking, so like, you know, I'm just gonna try to be nice. I didn't take that as like suspicious, huh? The florist didn't react. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be so for real, I feel like I wouldn't have react. Like, are they gonna suss me out like that too? Because like, I feel like in a situation like that, I would probably not even like be paying attention. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm a little bit of a daydreamer, so like when people like talk to me, sometimes I'm like, la 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 la, head in the clouds, not quite listening, and then something happens and I'm like, what happened? Like, I feel like I personally would not have caught on to that, you know? Just saying. So I didn't think that that was all so suspicious. I felt like that was a little bit of a silly one, which again, it's already been done quite a bit within the last within the last 8 episodes. From my knowledge, it's been done at least 3 times. So I do wish that it was, you know, either a little bit spaced out with the, we got 3 suspects, let's corner them. You know, I wish it was a little bit more spaced out and they had some different kind of mysteries. You know, there's all kinds of fun things that they can do with this season and the trope. So I was kind of iffy with this mystery for this episode. Please give me Augustine next episode. Honestly, she needs to like literally have some screen time. Like, she's only just been seen kind of like taunting Niji. Exactly, even if it doesn't make sense, she needs more screen time. Yeah, she's really the only one that we haven't seen. I feel like we've seen more Lulika than we've seen Augustine. The Lulika purchase scene really got me. Kind of seems like a plot twist to me. Honestly, yeah, I really do think, to me, that that's her kind of like sussing out the other side, you know? I feel like she, again, I say this all the time, but she really just doesn't give me like good or evil vibes. She just kind of gives me like neutral vibes. Just like, I'm trying to see what side I want to be on, you know? Just kind of like, let me weigh my options. You know, because even as a quote-unquote phantom thief, she isn't sent out to do anything. There's no pressure on her from Usanor. Like, she's just kind of there. That makes me a little suspicious of her character. Like, what are we doing, Queen? Queen, what are we doing? Queen, what are we doing? Like, I need to know. But yes, I also think that's a plot thing. At least we got some lore, but still basically an advertisement. Yeah. That's why I don't personally love the Pretty Holic episodes, because I know it's just like an excuse for like advertisement marketing, you know, let's sell some stuff. Like, I get it, but like it's like I get it. I know you gotta do what you gotta do. I get it, but like personally not my faves. But yes, anywho. Also, okay, correct me if I'm like low-key wrong about this, but I think I saw this somewhere where someone was like talking about Princession, right? Or I haven't even watched it. I don't know. It's like the Princession thing. The anime. I have not watched it. Someone said that it was finishing. So if it is, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. Like I was talking about earlier with the Amazing Digital Circus, I personally do not like to watch stuff while it's airing, because if I end up getting attached to it, I just want to binge it and I want more. And if I can't get more of it right away, it drives me insane. So I'll wait till something is like either finished or almost finished to dive into. Like one of my new favorite animes of this year has been You and I Are Polar Opposites, which if you have not watched, I totally recommend it. I recommend it so much. It's so good. I love it. But the problem is it's airing on like a weekly basis, and it's like after I watch one episode, I'm like, I need more. So if Princession is like almost finished, then I will absolutely be diving into it soon. I know if I watch it, I'm gonna be obsessed. So I kind of was like, okay, let's let it kind of get a little bit closer to end or something, a little bit closer to like, you know, having more episodes so that I can binge it, because I'm a little bit of a binge watcher. Hi Zari. So what's your favorite character in Star Detective Precure? Ah, I see. It's finishing, but yes, Star Detective Precure, I would say as of right now. Oh, that's so hard, because I really do honestly like Mikuru and Anna. However, I will say Mikuru Cure Answer is more of my fave, because I really feel for her. Like, I feel so for her. I feel so sad for her, because again, like the whole time travel thing, like on her birthday she travels back in time, and like she's so lonely, she feels so lonely. And it's like she finally broke down a couple episodes and expressed that, and I was like it's stuff like that that really gets me. So I'm gonna say Cure Answer, because I feel so bad for her. Like on her birthday she got transported into the past. She goes from 2027 to 1999, and I'm like, that's really sad. That's really sad. Like, that's a huge time jump, huge time difference. Like, her city wasn't even built in that time period. Like, she goes back from being in her city to like going to 1999, where there's like a little like billboard that's like coming soon in this city, and Anna's like, oh I was born there. It's not even a thing yet, you know. It's so sad, but I feel so for her. So I would say I'm gonna personally say Answer. I'll warn you, don't get attached to the villains. So okay, next week is the last episode. So, yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing a lot of people say that was close to finish, so I'm gonna start it then. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started, because again, I've been wanting to watch it, and I know that's a lot of people have been asking me if I can cover it, and again, I just don't want to cover something until it's like nearly finished, because I really like to binge. I like to binge watch. I'm a little bit of a binge watcher, you know. Gotta love to binge. Ooh, how long do you think it'll take for each other to find out that they're mother and daughter? I feel like, obviously, I'm gonna just say this, I feel like it's still a little bit up in the air, even though I wholeheartedly do believe that Mikuru is Anna's mother in the future. I 100% believe that theory. However, I will just say, that's just a theory that they're mother and daughter. However, I wholeheartedly believe it. But, and I wholeheartedly believe it because I want to, not because I have facts and evidence, because I want to. But, honestly, I feel like that would be really fun for, like, the ending. I'm gonna be so for real. I feel like if they learn that anytime soon or even in the middle, I feel like it would kind of ruin the friendship that they've created. But I think in the final episodes, you know, kind of like, oh, Anna's like, okay, I gotta go back to my time period now, and like I feel like there's gonna be a little bit of sadness, obviously, kind of like Sailor Moon, like Usagi and Chibiusa, like when Usagi and Chibiusa are saying goodbye, and Chibiusa's like, you know, like, I'm sad because I'll miss you, but I'll see you in the future. And Usagi's like, I'm sad and I miss you, but one day I'll give birth to you. I'll give birth to you. So, you know, different, obviously, but it's like, you know, we won't be gone from each other's lives forever, you know? Just gotta wait for the future to come. And I feel like that would be really meaningful at the end of this season if you know, they're both sad. Mikuru and Anna, they become very close friends. I feel like it would be really sad of an ending for them to be like, I'm gonna miss you so much, like I've become such a good friend, and then the reveal of, hey, actually Mikuru's your mom, and then she goes back to her time period. I feel like that would be cute, you know, like obviously flush it out, but like I feel like that would be really cute. It could be another one of those moments where it's like, you know, it's sad leaving you, but I'm glad I got to meet you in the past, and I'm glad I got to meet the future version of you. Like, you know, we'll always still be together, you know, like we're never actually gonna be apart. I feel like that would be really cute. That'd be really cute. But I do feel like if they reveal the mother and daughter thing, because again, I do personally want to believe. I know that people have been like, hey, you can't say that yet, but like, exactly, like it was so blatantly Mikuru. I'm gonna be so free. It was so blatant, so obviously it was Mikuru. However, I know people get iffy about that, and they're like, no, you can't say that yet, there's not enough evidence, there's not enough proof. I know some people say that. I understand why, but I will say, I feel like it would ruin the friendship that they've made if they don't do that at the end. You know? I feel like it would kind of ruin the dynamic between the two. Because I feel like if all of a sudden they learn that they're mother and daughter, I feel like Mikuru would definitely have this like chip on her shoulder, I can't say the word, shoulder, where she's like, Anna, listen to your mother. I feel like that is absolutely something that Mikuru would be pulling. I feel like she would be like, listen to your mother. I just feel that. I feel like that would be the dynamic, and low-key, I just kind of want them to like remain like friends or something. I feel like that's sweet, having them just become really good friends, and then like at the end being like, oh my god, mommy. Like, I feel like that would be really funny. You know, I feel like that would be cute, but again, I feel like it would kind of low-key ruin their friendship dynamic to figure out like, oh my god, you're my mom, oh my god, you're my daughter. I feel like that'd be weird. Also, I know that there's a theory that Jet might be Anna's father because they have the same eye color, and I see a lot of people who are saying like, you know, Mikuru and Jet would get together because that would make sense because of Anna's hair color, like the muted pink and like the blonde hair. When you kind of mix them together, it kind of makes that orangey color that Anna has. So that's another thing. I know a lot of people are saying, I wonder if those two are going to get together in the future. Obviously, you can't really disprove or prove it right now. Like, we're like not even 10, I'll say that, not even 10 episodes in the way. Not even 10 episodes started in the season yet, so obviously you can't really tell or disprove or prove anything, but I do feel like it would be really weird for Anna to be like, I'm surrounded by my parents in 1999. I feel like that would just be weird, so I feel like it would be really cool of a reveal at the end. Again, just theorizing, if that is what's gonna happen, I feel like that would be really good for the ending. I cry or at least cheer up when characters do so in danger in the finale. Yeah, me too. Jet is beyond Unk status. That is so wrong. I feel you. He's so Unk. He's obviously, this episode has what's the word I'm looking for? This episode has made him just a cutie patootie. He's over here like doing his little heart fingers like purry purry love. Like, I can't get over the amount of memes I've seen so far, but yeah, you just never know. You can't really disprove. What age gap? Wait, what? I haven't heard of an age gap theory. What's the age gap theory? I actually don't know how old Jet is. I've just seen a lot of people theorizing from color palettes and stuff. But yeah. Wait, is he 200? Wait, what? Despite 202, I can't read numbers. Sorry. I'm bad at math. I failed my last year of high school math. 222. Is he 222? Is he? Oh! I missed that, I guess. He said it himself? I guess I missed that. I don't know how I missed that, but I guess, you know, I guess he is a fairy. I don't know. I mean, not to bring up the infamous Nozo Coco situation, but Precure is notorious for doing some weird age gappy things. Yanar, but yeah, honestly, I don't know that I personally ship it. Like, I don't see any reason to. Honestly, I'm not a huge shipper for Precure anyway. However, I do wholeheartedly believe that Mikuru is Anna's mother. I don't know about Jet. Personally, I feel more inclined to not believe that he's the father and it's just a design choice with the eyes and the hair. But I wholeheartedly believe that Mikuru is Anna's mother. Yeah. Wholeheartedly. But you know what? I feel like it'd be really cool to see, like, at the end, see everyone, you know? If we could see, like, an older version of Luluka and whoever Cure Claire is, and maybe, like, an older Jet or something. I feel like it would be cool to see everyone older. I feel like that would be really cool. A little cool closing moment where Anna's like, my friends, you're so old. No, but I feel like those time, like, travel stories, they always make me a little bit emotional because of stuff like that. Because it's like, you know, if that was the case, then it's like, Anna grew up with, like, her mom and, like, her friends, and it's like, you know, you'll never get to grow up with them because they already grew up before you, and it's like, that's so sad. Like, there's just something emotional about it. Like, oh my god, what's that movie called? Meet the Robinsons. That's that movie. That movie changed my brain chemistry. I loved it. I loved that movie so much. It's so good. However, like, it's so bittersweet because, like, you know, the whole time he's trying to find himself, not knowing that it's himself. So, like, crazy work. But, like, oh my god, I love stuff like that. However, it is very bittersweet, you know, especially in the sense of, like, you know, Usagi, Chibiusa, like, you know, like, we're growing up in a different time period, you know, we at least get to grow up with each other for a little bit. However, you know, it's like, I'm supposed to birth you. Like, it's just a little bit sad, you know, it's bittersweet. Could Luluka and Eclair be from different time periods? Ooh, I wonder, because Usanori did react a couple episodes ago to Neji saying that one of the cures is not from 1999. So I wonder if that has something to do with anything. It did cut to Luluka for a second, but that seemed like shock. So it didn't really necessarily feel like, oh my god, me too, kind of shock. It just felt like, huh? Interesting. You know, like, oh. You know, so I feel like that would be cool twist. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait with this one. But yes, anywho, I did do a recap. I feel like I need to shout that out. I did a recap of the last half of You and Idol Precure. So if you guys haven't checked that out, check that one out. It's not performing very well, but also I feel like a lot of people just didn't want to watch that season, but that one is out. So I'm also gonna do that. I got some questions. Yes, I'm gonna do the same thing here for Star Detective Precure, and I'm gonna start. I actually feel like I like doing those videos. It takes a while to record everything, but also the recording for that video was an hour and a half, and I edited it down to 53 minutes. Crazy. That's why it took so long to get that video out. You know, we're like, what, 8 episodes? We were 8 episodes into Star Detective Precure before I finally got the ending of You and Idol out. I wish I could have got it out sooner. I just I have a couple videos. I had a Spawn video, I had a paid promotion video, which is the one before, that I had to really like get on the ball with. And yes, also we will have another one this week. It's not a paid promotion video, but it is another indie magical girl series, so if you like stuff like that, check it out on Saturday. But is it possible they could find out they're related to 203 in the show? I mean, that would be cool. I'm down for it. I'm down for any sort of like, you know, time traveling thing like that, because I genuinely find it fascinating. But yes, I don't think I really have any other updates to give you guys. I'm gonna go get my nails done tonight for the first time in a while, so look out for some pretty Instagram some posts tonight. But anywho, I am going to leave you guys here. Again, sorry we're having to do this on a Tuesday, a random Tuesday, because my internet was out all day yesterday, and Em actually has a lot of stuff to get caught up on with content, but also work stuff. So anywho, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.